We're in the subreddit marriage. This one is sad. Suffocating my marriage. Husband doesn't want me to have my own identity within the marriage. Is this healthy? I'm losing weight and not sleeping well because I feel physically ill over the state of my marriage. My 30 she's 36 female, husband 37 male, and I sat down yesterday and shared that we are both unhappy. Things were great for a long time when I never rocked the boat. A little over a year ago, I started working on myself, therapy, setting boundaries, etc., and now my marriage is suffering. We got married when we were kids, and I think a lot of development was stunted from lack of maturity. He says he can't be happy if I'm pursuing my own identity and personal interests. I'm considering trying to bottle things up to keep peace for the sake of the marriage and for our family. It feels so unhealthy. I'm afraid I can't unlearn the healthy habits now. I let codependency go on for too long without knowing what it was. Is it possible to deny myself a sense of identity and still find happiness in marriage? You know, reading that out loud is sad on a human level. Let's see what the commenters have to say. Let's see. Commenter says, "What the hell? I couldn't imagine telling my wife that." And the OP says, "Thank you for saying that. It takes a weight off. Truly, he thinks this is what love looks like, and it is hard to change." And commenter says, "This is the opposite of what love looks like. He is supposed to love and support you to be the best person you can be, not pressure you to be the person he wants you to be. I don't know him or you, but if being your own person in your relationship makes you unhappy, perhaps you're not meant to be together." Another person says, "That part right there." Um, a husband says, "If anything, I want to support and encourage my wife's interests. Like, please go take a night for yourself. Go to the coffee shop and fuck around on your laptop for a few hours." Oh. So, let's see. I'm sure your therapist mentioned this, but when we start putting boundaries up that have been crossed before, it's a huge adjustment period. If I was your husband, oh no, this one says, "I was your husband 4 years ago. My partner was very passive and didn't speak up. She went to therapy and regained or maybe discovered her identity. And with that came conflict. I had to relearn what normal was because my partner was finally letting me know what mattered to her. I had to change and keep my ego in check and had to look at my own actions and behaviors. It was a lot of self work, and I'm better because of it. Hope your husband can see this as a challenge to overcome because it benefits the person he loves." OP appreciated the response, his most meaningful response. I don't appreciate that response entirely. It's okay, but it's not giving a solution. I guess they meant to add something towards the aspect of marriage counseling as soon as possible, and that being, the hopeful outcome. Telling a human being not to be a human being is wild and nasty work. I think that when she mentions maturity, it reminds me of children and how we see our parents. And oftentimes, our parents sacrifice who they are for our just existence, right? You might have used to golf or swim or play tennis or whatever leisure you had. You become a parent, you work the 9 to 5, 40-hour grind, and then you're back to diapers, vomits, and all the things. And so, because we see our parents do that, especially who's the major parent in most families, mom, we see mom sacrifice all the time. And so then you get married to a woman, you turn her into a mother, not your mother, keyword, not your mother, but other people's mother. And then you expect for her to continue that sacrifice loop, which she's doing already for the kids, but not necessarily within the actual relationship, wherever there is room for her to have her time and leisure. So this is definitely, like she said, stunted growth it's a maturity issue. Um, he wants mommy, and he's frightened that mommy is going to expect him to grow up and be on his own and figure it out while she explores herself. And so, saying all that to say, there are more issues here in this relationship than just this post is saying. And it sounds like they do have kids because she said our family, unless there's dogs, dog moms and such. I don't know. Um, it sounds like he didn't want a partner or wife necessarily. He wanted actually a person to sacrifice themselves for his happiness, because to tell someone that if you pursue what makes you happy, I will be unhappy is wild and nasty work. So it's sad, and it's super prevalent, unfortunately. This is kind of what it's like for a lot of women. Um, they're not afforded the support to explore their own happiness. They're always, more so than not asked to forego their own happiness for the happiness of the family. Just be here. Just be around. Just I want you to be here when I get home. I want you to this. I want you to that. We need you to do. We need you to this. We need you to that. It sucks. So, this relationship is over. This man should be left immediately. I wouldn't even bother with therapy in this situation, because to verbalize that a person's happiness is not more important or as even important as your own is red flag. That's a major deal breaker. So, in this situation, she needs to run far, run fast, run immediately. Comments were decent. Got some really good comments from men, actually, which I appreciate that. I love that. I love that men are trying to speak to other men and say, no, this is not the way, especially the ones that have been able to turn it around through therapy and other things. But I believe this one is too far gone. He has in his mind at the age of 37 what he expects out of a partner, and what he expects is a robot, a wife appliance that doesn't have anything going on besides the family, which is so very wonderful and convenient to a point. And then you end up with a shell of a person, a dull, what's it called? Numb, dull person who's just not there anymore. And that's what he's trying to sign up for. And I hope she fights like hell for her freedom and her autonomy and her ability to make pursue happiness. So this one was crazy, sad, and ridiculous. But the good thing is that the commenters are speaking out and add insult to injury, being as though this channel is romances for rich people. If this man happens to be one of those ones that can't even afford the family and has her doing his job and his, meaning she's got to work full time and do all the things because he can't lift a finger. Hoy vey. I can't. If that's what he's on, then not only is there an issue that cannot be resolved with but therapy, but he's trying to make you a house slave. So, wish we had more details on this one. I mean, it was a really short post, but we can get the gist from the very few sentences she said. This guy is not interested in partnership. He wants to drive a slave, or at the very least have a robot wife appliance. These are the type of guys that would marry a doll given the opportunity, with all the custom parts and all the things that makes them think that that's the perfect woman's body or whatever. That's this guy. So very sad. I think there was a movie that came out recently where it was like a doll AI robot woman, and she moved in with a guy and his child, and that's like the Hollywood version of what this is possibly is that you don't want a person, you want a thing to do stuff. and to tell somebody that your happiness in pursuit of such dampens mine, so don't be happy or don't try, is wild and nasty work. So, that's what's going on here. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video.